excuse me, having a beer instead of a cup of coffee. But the sun's of the yard arm and I'm no working the day. So we Davie short, what brings Davie to your screens today? Well, Rachel Reeves this morning gave a pre-budget speech, highly unusual event, where she hinted that she's going to break her manifesto commitments and raise taxes down that road. And on us probably as well. And England has went into a collective fucking meltdown. I've been rolling about laughing since I watched the speech on YouTube and watching the reaction on social media. I have been buckled. Absolutely buckled. I don't know how many times I've got to say this, but tax is a good thing. It's about making it fair, but it's a good thing. And all the people doing that road that are complaining about shite public services, guess what, folks, in England, this is specifically for the people of England. If you want good public services, pay your fucking tax! And if they require more money to ensure you have good public services, then pay your fucking tax! How stupid do you have to be to not be able to link public services to taxation? As I say, but it's about making it fair. Here in Scotland, under devolution, we only have control of one major tax. One major tax, and that's income tax. And we looked at it and thought, well, we want good public services. We don't want our kids to have to pay university tuition fees. We don't want to have to pay prescription charges. We don't want to have to pay road tolls. We don't want to have peak fares in our railways. These are all public services. We don't want our people to have to pay for eye tests or dental examinations. So we knew we needed to generate more money for the public services, and the only lever we had was income tax. And we knew, as a society, it's only fair that those with the broadest shoulders contribute a wee bit more. So we created 6 tax bands. The lowest tax band pays less than the lowest tax band in England, and the highest tax band pays a few pennies more. But when you've got 2.5 million people in the workforce, that generates an extra huge amount of income. Like, because of my income level, I'm above the base level, so I pay a wee bit more. I don't mind. And when they talk about taxation up here, you hear us all saying, oh, just hit me for another penny, John, it's okay. We'll manage. So guess what, people of England? It's not about taxation, it's about making it fair. But the one thing you have to learn is that if you want good public services, pay your fucking tax. The debate you have to be having down there is, how should we tax more fairly? And the Office for Budget Responsibility has already told the Chancellor, if she introduces a Scottish-style 6-band tax system in England, it will raise 11 billion quid right away. So it's not about raising taxes. It's about making sure when you raise them fairly across the spectrums of incomes, like we do here in Scotland. And that generates an extra £500 million for us. For yous, it would generate an extra 11 billion apparently, according to the Office for Budget Responsibility. But the one thing you people in England really do need to learn, stop moaning about public services if you don't want to pay your tax. Tax is a good thing. It's about how you tax, who you tax, when you tax, and doing it fairly. The first thing you need to do is introduce a wealth tax, because they're stripping all the money out of the economy and they're hoarding it. The next thing you need to do is restructure the tax system across 6 bands in income tax, and then you need to look at other taxes and how to restructure them. Because that's what we're going to do after we leave this union. Because you won't do what's necessary, because you don't seem to be able to link taxation with good public services. You don't seem capable of understanding that. That if you want good education, public education, free to pointer, ability to use, then you've got to pay your fucking tax. If you don't want to pay for prescription medicines, pay your fucking tax. You don't want to pay for dental for the under 25s. You want free bus travel for the over 60s and the under 22s. You want a baby box for every baby that's born. You want a child benefit that's twice the amount it is, like it is here in Scotland. Parents here in Scotland don't just get UK child benefit. They get the Scottish child payment as well. But we can only do that because we link taxation with public services. So we pay our fucking tax. And we spread the burden across the wage spectrums so that those with the broadest shoulders contribute that wee bit more. But watching the people of England go into absolute meltdown after Rachel Reeves says we all have to play our part. Well, I'm sorry, people of England. If you can't link taxation and public services, then you're going to have shite public services. But if you do link taxation and public services and get down to having a serious debate about how to use the powers that you have to spread the burden more evenly, then you will have good public services. Then your children and grandchildren will stop having to pay for higher education. Your medicine will be free at a point in need. You won't be paying for eye tests. You won't be paying road tolls. There'll be no peak fare in your fucking railways. We don't have any of these things here. That's because we link taxation with good public fucking services. And we pay our tax. And we also constructed a tax system that was fair, where everybody gives to contribute to the public services. But England, wake the fuck up. Tax is a good thing. If you can't realise that tax and public services go hand in hand, then you're too fucking stupid to deserve good public services. And Reeves is right. You've all got to play your part. Now you have to have a conversation on how you do it fairly. Get angry if when she does announce these tax increases that they're unfairly weighted on the poor, then you get fucking angry. Because that's not what we did in Scotland. What we did in Scotland was we increased the amount of tax bands so that those with a wee bit more contributed a wee bit more, and we got decent public services. No great. That's because you fuckers control the rest of the taxes. We'd already restructured them into a much fairer, balanced system. The way we have with income tax. But England, you have to get your head wrapped around this. Stop moaning about public services unless you're willing to pay your fucking tax. So watching England get into a meltdown after Rachel Reeves' speech this morning had me rolling about the floor fucking laughing. I say this video is specifically for England. Tax is a good thing. And if you want good public services, pay your fucking taxes. And if you want really good public services, up the taxes, up the taxes, up the taxes. Because that's what delivers good public services. Ask the Scandinavians. But as I said, the other thing you've got to do is look at your tax system and redesign it to make it fair, the way we did with the income tax system here in Scotland. But that's the Davie short for you folks. It's specifically aimed at our neighbours next door who are now in absolute fucking meltdown because Rachel Reeves says she's going to put up the taxes. It's not about putting up taxes. That has to happen if you want good public services. It's about who pays the taxes, where they pay their taxes, and when they pay their fucking taxes. And it's about distributing the burden fairly across society. Wise up, England. Tax is a good thing.